I've seen it before, maybe on a license plate, maybe on the clock when you randomly checked your phone, or maybe it showed up on a receipt after you bought something. 444, 444, again and again, and at first you ignored it. You thought it was just a coincidence, but then it kept happening, and now you're here, searching for an answer. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you isn't just another explanation about angel numbers or some vague spiritual meaning. No, this goes much deeper. 444 is more than just a sign. It's a direct message to your subconscious mind, and ignoring it could mean missing out on something that could completely change the way you see yourself, your life, and reality itself. 2.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound insights.
But before we get into the meaning of 444, I want you to think about something. Have you ever felt like you were being guided? Like something, some force was trying to communicate with you to push you in a certain direction? Maybe it was a gut feeling that stopped you from making a terrible mistake, or a sudden realization that helped you break free from a toxic situation. What if I told you that these moments weren't random? That your subconscious has been trying to send you messages all along, but you've been too distracted to notice. We live in a world of noise, social media, endless notifications, the pressure to keep up with everything and everyone. But in all this chaos, the most important messages, the ones that come from deep within you, are being drowned out. And that's why 444 keeps appearing. It's a pattern breaking through the noise, forcing you to pay attention. It's a wake-up call. But to understand what it's trying to tell you, we need to go deeper. Think about what the number 4 represents. Stability, foundation, structure. A house has 4 walls, a table has 4 legs. The seasons, the elements, earth, air, fire, water, everything in nature follows this structure. The number 4 is the universe's way of telling you that something in your life needs to be stabilized. Maybe your mind has been restless. Maybe you've been running from something you don't even want to admit to yourself. But 444 is saying, stop, look around, ground yourself, get real about where you're headed. But here's the part most people don't talk about. 444 isn't just about stability, it's about transformation through stability. Think about it. Why do people meditate? Why do monks spend years in silence? Why do the most powerful minds in history always talk about discipline and structure? Because when your foundation is strong, your mind is free. When your life isn't chaotic, your subconscious can actually communicate with you. So ask yourself, what in your life is unstable right now? Is it your thoughts, your emotions, your relationships, your career? What is keeping you from clarity? Because 444 isn't just showing up randomly. It's showing up because something in you already knows the answer, and you're being pushed, no, forced to wake up to it. But here's the problem. Most people will see 444 and do nothing. They'll think, oh, that's weird, and move on. And that's exactly why they stay stuck in the same cycles, repeating the same mistakes, wondering why nothing ever changes. But you're here. That means something. That means you're ready to listen. So let's go even deeper. What if I told you that your subconscious already holds every answer you've been looking for? That the reason you feel lost, confused, or disconnected isn't because you don't know what to do. It's because you've been conditioned to ignore your own mind. From the moment we're born, we're taught to look outside of ourselves for answers. Parents, teachers, society, they all tell us what to think, what to believe, what's possible and what's not. But your subconscious? It's been watching. It's been absorbing everything, and 444 is the signal that it's time to listen. So how do you do that? How do you actually hear what your subconscious is trying to tell you? The first step is silence, not just external silence, but internal silence. Because think about it. When was the last time you actually sat with your thoughts? No distractions, no phone, no background noise, just you alone with your mind. Most people can't handle it. They'll do anything to avoid it. But why? What are they so afraid of hearing? Here's the truth. Your subconscious has been screaming at you, but you've been running from it. The fears you refuse to face, the doubts you try to bury, the desires you don't even admit to yourself. 444 is telling you to stop running, to turn around and listen. Take a deep breath. Right now, seriously, close your eyes for a second. Ask yourself, what have I been ignoring? What truth am I afraid to face? What is my mind trying to tell me that I've been too scared to hear? Most people won't do this. They'll hear these words, they'll nod along, and then they'll go right back to their distractions. But if you really want to understand why 444 keeps appearing, you have to be willing to listen not just to me, but to yourself. And here's the wild part. The moment you start listening, the world around you will start changing. You'll notice things you never noticed before. Opportunities will appear. People will enter or leave your life in ways that feel almost too perfect to be coincidences. And it won't be magic. It won't be luck. It will be you, finally aligned with the truth you've been ignoring all along. So let me ask you, are you ready for that? Are you actually ready to listen? Because 444 isn't just a number. It's a choice. You can ignore it, brush it off, stay asleep, or you can wake up. You can face yourself, you can finally hear what your mind has been trying to tell you. The question is, what will you do now? If you're still here, it means something inside you is awake enough to recognize that this isn't just another meaningless coincidence. You're not here by accident. You're here because something in you is searching for truth, for clarity, for something deeper than the empty distractions that most people spend their lives drowning in. 444 is not just a number that appears randomly. It's a direct signal from your subconscious mind, an undeniable message that you can't ignore any longer. But the real question is, will you actually listen? Or will you let this moment pass like all the others, falling back into the same patterns, the same doubts, the same illusions? Think about your life right now. Think about the things that keep you up at night, the things you avoid thinking about because they make you uncomfortable. Maybe it's a decision you've been putting off, a truth about yourself that you don't want to face, a path that you know you should take but keep hesitating. What if I told you that 444 is showing up because deep down, you already know what you need to do? The problem isn't that you don't have the answer. The problem is that you're afraid to acknowledge it. Because once you do, you'll no longer have an excuse to stay the same. Most people live their entire lives avoiding the truth about themselves. They numb themselves with entertainment, with endless scrolling, with distractions that keep them from ever having to sit with their own thoughts. But think about this. If you can't even sit in silence with yourself, if you can't even listen to your own mind without feeling restless, what does that say about the relationship you have with yourself? How can you ever expect to find clarity, purpose, or peace if you don't even know what's happening in your own subconscious? This is why 444 keeps appearing. It's not just a number, it's a mirror. It's reflecting back to you the state of your inner world, showing you exactly what needs to be addressed. So let's break this down. If 444 is appearing in your life, it means three major things. First, it's a sign that your foundation needs attention. Something in your life, whether it's your mindset, your habits, your relationships, or your sense of purpose, is unstable. Maybe you've been ignoring your intuition for too long. Maybe you've been running from something that you know deep down you need to face. Maybe you've been surrounding yourself with the wrong people, staying in situations that drain you instead of empower you. Whatever it is, 444 is telling you that it's time to stop pretending everything is fine and actually do something about it. Second, 444 is a sign of alignment. It's appearing because you are either on the verge of stepping into a new phase of your life or you are resisting that change. It's a confirmation that you are being guided, that you are not alone in this, that the universe or your higher self or whatever you want to call it is trying to push you in the right direction. But here's the thing about alignment. It doesn't happen by accident. You have to choose it. You have to stop sabotaging yourself. You have to stop making excuses. You have to stop waiting for the perfect moment to take action. Because the truth is, the perfect moment will never come. The only moment you have is right now. And third, 444 is a test. It's a challenge from your own subconscious, asking you, are you really ready to change? Are you actually going to listen this time? Because if you ignore this message, if you brush it off as just another meaningless coincidence, nothing in your life will change. You will continue to feel stuck, confused, disconnected, and you will wonder why. But the answer will always be the same. You ignored the signs. You ignored yourself. So let's get practical. What do you actually do when you see 444? How do you use this message instead of just noticing it and moving on? First, stop whatever you're doing and pay attention to your thoughts in that exact moment. What were you thinking about when you saw 444? What were you feeling? What decision were you about to make? This is not random. Your subconscious is trying to highlight something specific. If you can catch that thought, you will get direct insight into what needs your attention right now. Second, take inventory of your life. Look at the areas where you feel the most resistance, the most uncertainty, the most discomfort. These are the places where you need to focus. Because resistance is not a stop sign, it's a signal. It's showing you exactly where your growth is. If something scares you, if something makes you uncomfortable, it means there is power hidden within it, but only if you're willing to face it. Third, commit to action. Seeing 444 is meaningless if you don't do something about it. What is one thing you can do right now to bring more stability, more clarity, more alignment into your life? Is it having that difficult conversation you've been avoiding? Is it finally making a decision that you've been putting off? Is it changing your habits, your mindset, your environment? Whatever it is, do it. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Because if you keep waiting, if you keep making excuses, you will stay exactly where you are. And deep down, you know you don't want that. Let's go even deeper. What if 444 is appearing because you are at a crossroads? Because right now you are standing between two versions of yourself, the person you have been and the person you are meant to become. And the only thing standing between them is a choice to let go of the old patterns, the old fears, the old limitations that have been keeping you stuck. A choice to finally step into your power, to trust yourself, to stop doubting what you already know to be true. But here's the thing about transformation. It requires sacrifice. You cannot become your highest self while still holding on to the things that are keeping you small. You have to be willing to release, to let go, to walk away from what no longer serves you. So ask yourself, what am I still holding on to that is keeping me from evolving? Is it fear? Is it comfort? Is it the need for approval from people who don't even understand my path? Because here's the truth, most people will never understand the journey you are on. Most people are too caught up in their own illusions, their own distractions, their own fears. They will project those fears onto you. They will tell you that change is dangerous, that stepping outside of the norm is risky. But what's even riskier, wasting your life, being someone you're not. 0.4444 is appearing because you are being called to wake up, to stop living on autopilot, to stop letting life happen to you and start taking control of your reality. But no one can do that for you. No one can force you to change. No one can force you to listen. You have to make that choice for yourself. And the hardest part? You have to make it over and over again. Because growth isn't something you do once and then you're done. It's a daily commitment. A daily choice to be aware, to be conscious, to be intentional about the life you are creating. So, I'll ask you again, are you ready? Because if you are, then this is your moment. Right here, right now. No more waiting, no more ignoring the signs, no more pretending you don't know what to do. You know. You've always known. The only question is, will you finally listen? If you're still here, it means you're ready to hear the truth. Not the watered-down version, not the easy answer, but the real, raw truth about why 444 keeps appearing in your life. The fact that you've made it this far proves that something in you is already shifting. You're not just casually interested, you're searching for something deeper. And that's exactly why this message keeps showing up. But here's the thing. Knowing the meaning of 444 is not enough. Understanding it intellectually means nothing if you don't take action. Because knowledge without action is just another form of avoidance. So let's get brutally honest. What's stopping you from changing? What's the real reason you keep ignoring your own intuition? Is it fear? Fear of failure? Fear of judgment? Fear of stepping into the unknown? Or is it comfort? The illusion that staying where you are, even if you're unhappy, is somehow safer than growth. Because that's what this all comes down to. Growth is uncomfortable. Facing yourself is uncomfortable. But do you know what's even more uncomfortable? Waking up years from now, realizing you ignored every sign, every opportunity, every moment of clarity that was given to you. 444 is appearing because you are out of time. This is not just a gentle reminder, this is a call to action. You are standing at a threshold between who you are and who you are meant to become, and the only thing separating them is a choice to stop running, a choice to stop doubting. A choice to finally listen to yourself and trust that you already have everything you need to move forward. But here's the part most people don't want to hear. No one is coming to save you. No angel, no mystical force, no external event is going to suddenly change your life for you. The message has already been sent. The guidance has already been given. Now it's up to you. Let's talk about resistance. Because the moment you decide to change, the moment you decide to finally listen to yourself, you will be tested. Your old patterns, your old fears, your old self will try to pull you back. Your mind will come up with every excuse possible. It's not the right time. I don't have enough information. What if I fail? But these are just illusions. They are the subconscious mind's way of keeping you in the familiar. Even if the familiar is miserable, you have to push through it. You have to decide that your growth is more important than your fear. And here's the reality. Most people won't do this. Most people will hear this message. They will feel inspired for a moment, and then they will go right back to their old patterns. They will dismiss 444 as just another coincidence, another meaningless number, and they will stay asleep. But you made it this far. That means something. That means you are different. That means you are ready. But you have to prove it, not to me, not to anyone else, but to yourself. So, let's get real. What happens next? You leave this video, you go back to your life, and then what? Do you go back to ignoring the signs, brushing off the messages, pretending you don't know what to do? Or do you finally take control? Do you finally stop waiting for permission to be who you were always meant to be? Because that's what this is really about. It's not about numbers, it's about you. It's about whether or not you are willing to wake up and take responsibility for your life. 0.444 is not just a number, it is a crossroads, it is a decision point, and the choice is yours. Stay asleep or wake up. Stay stuck or move forward. Keep ignoring yourself or finally listen. The universe, your subconscious, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, has done its part. Now it's your turn. So I'll ask you one last time, what are you going to do? Because the next time you see 444, you will remember this moment. You will remember this choice. And the only question left will be, did you answer the call or did you let it pass you by?